I mean, I think I landed a good punch on Neil. I will be honest, I wasn't in the best shape, and I had gotten a little hurt during my training early on, and I got a good punch and I won and walked away with a win. And so it did end after the first round. But excited to give it another try and train a little better. And I said this to you the other day. I said, I think to some extent, I landed a good punch. But I didn't feel like I did the best that I could have, and I wanted to do that differently this time, and that's why I'm back.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of our Legends Boxing Podcast, EFN edition. We're really excited. We have another guest. So last episode, you guys got to hear from Scott Hillman, and today you guys get to hear from Andy Hayford, who is his opponent, which is going to be super stoked. I mean, I can't tell you how excited I am for this fight. I know Andy's really excited about it, and we'll get to all of that. But first, we want to definitely give Andy some time to introduce himself, introduce the company, who he's representing. So tell us a little bit about that. Who's the company that you're representing this year for EFN?
So I work for the University of Utah, and I am in the real estate administration office. So we get to do all kinds of fun paperworky things like real estate for the university and leases. And I manage everything from construction to janitorial to lease management. So I get to do all that kind of fun stuff for the University of Utah.
Okay, great. What's the current project that you're working on for the U of U?
We are doing a big remodel of one of our buildings downtown. So that's one of the big projects I've been working on. I was down there this morning working on it. So we've got a major, multi-million-dollar remodel of our building downtown in Salt Lake. So the university owns a lot of real estate outside of campus. So we own a lot of property in Research Park. We own a bunch of real estate downtown in Salt Lake. And so my department's responsibility is to manage and oversee all that property.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is. It's fun. It's the university is it's a higher learning. It's a business at the end of the day, but the university, to further their needs and to support their different departments and different groups, and tuition doesn't pay everything at the university, so there are other assets the university has, and that's what we get to do and deal with on a daily basis.
Nice. How are you enjoying that?
I love it. A little bit about me prior to, I used to work with Andrew here at Legends, but after I left Legends, I went to the university. I've been there for 4 years.
Nice.
And I love it. It's a great place to work. They take care of you. And there's a higher mission at the end of the day. We are enriching people's lives. We're teaching people through there's so much that's going on at the university. I couldn't even begin to even scratch the surface, but it's a great place to work. It's a great place to be. And we are, helping in society in some way by teaching future leaders, future business owners, future entrepreneurs. So I love it.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah, he did mention he was actually, guys, one of the front runners that I like to say in the franchising of Legends Boxing. He was one of the very first people to help get the franchising going, to get the gear going. Like, I was actually hoping to have a sample of one of our knockout, our Mike Tyson's Punch Out shirts that Andy was a part of that we did. That was really awesome that we're actually bringing back.
Okay.
Yeah, they're making another run of that, so that's really good. So tell me a little bit about that journey and what that was like back then when you were a part of Legends, because you were also a part of EFN from both sides of it before, right? Talk to us about that. Tell us about, I know you were on the back end of EFN helping to develop everything that's going on, but I also know that you fought previous. So tell me a little bit about the back end, and then we'll go into the fight.
Sure. I fought in 2018, so 5 years ago. I fought in EFN, and that's kind of how I got my foot in the door with Legends. I'd been in operations before and had talked to Rob, and Rob was you guys were looking for an operations person. And so after I fought in EFN, that's when I started my journey at Legends, and was here for a little over a year, and got to see the business grow. There were, I think, 3 functioning gyms or open gyms at the time between Lehigh, Riverton, and Sandy when I started. And then just to see the growth and to be a little bit a part of that was just awesome. And to even now, not necessarily being a part of Legends, I think you're probably always a part of Legends. At least I feel that way. Just to see gyms opening across the country, right? And it's super cool. I did get the opportunity to work on the gear side as well, which was fun. Just working with, from the design perspective, from an inventory perspective, from a manufacturing perspective. I mean, we had stuff manufactured all over the world, right? And so that was a great part to see. And from, mini gloves to actual gloves to heavy bags to all the gear that I got to be a part of that. And so it's been pretty awesome. And also working with the individual, I got to work with a lot of the account managers and owners of gyms too, as they started to get going and from Trolley Square and other gyms, it's to see people come in when they come here for their discovery day as part of their franchising process, to see them actually owning a gym. You can probably attest to this too. It's super cool to see it from the beginning to the end, and to be a part of that was super awesome. So, but I've always kept in contact with you and with Rob and with Mary, and it's been great to see the growth. And when I saw an opportunity this time to fight again, I thought maybe we'll get into this a little bit more, but as we talk about my fight, but I didn't train as the best I should have when I first fought. And I wanted to do that differently this time. And so I wanted to challenge myself again. And so here I am.
Welcome back, man.
Thank you.
Again, like you said, he's absolutely right, guys. And it doesn't matter when you're a part of Legends, you're a part of Legends for life. Like you really are. You're a part of the family and the tribe. So welcome back to EFN again. Now tell me a little bit about how that first fight went. How did it end?
It ended with me winning. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know this
pretty quickly.
You were the coach.
I was on the other side of the ring, so yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I landed a good punch on Neil, and I will be honest, I wasn't in the best shape, and I had gotten a little hurt during my training early on, and it was. I got a good punch and I won and walked away with a win. And so it did end after the first round. Mm-hmm. But excited to give it another try and train a little better. And I said this to you the other day. I said, I think to some extent, I landed a good punch. But I didn't feel like I did the best that I could have. And I wanted to do that differently this time. And that's why I'm back.
Well, let's do it then. And I mean, he's already kind of doing that. Talk us a little bit through your training regimen right now. How many days a week are you in classes?
4 days a week. So Saturdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
That's awesome.
And
that's a lot. 2 days of sparring, right?
1 day of sparring, but I'm doing mitts every day after class with Stuart. So, doing, 15, 20 minutes worth of mitts.
Stuart. You're in Cottonwood?
I'm in Cottonwood.
Oh, yeah. Well, what are you doing up there? I thought you were more Riverton, closer to Riverton.
So I moved about 3 years ago to the Holiday area, Mill Creek area. Just in my personal relationships in life, that brought me to Holiday. That's actually where I grew up. Okay. I went to Skyline High School, if anybody's familiar with that area, but grew up there and currently live in Holiday. So I'm going to the Cottonwood gym to train.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's not all too far away from Bountiful either, so you're welcome to come take one of my classes up there in Bountiful whenever you want to.
Anytime.
No, that's definitely 4 days a week in the gym, 1 day of sparring, and mitts after every single class. Mm-hmm. That is a high level of conditioning, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope his opponent is doing the same thing. I don't know. I don't know that Scott mentioned anything in his last interview about how often he's training. But I do recall your fight last time, and there is always the saying in boxing is that there's always a puncher's chance. And so that's why I'm a firm believer in that there's no such thing as a lucky punch. Okay, so you went in there, you went in ready, you went in mentally prepared. Now you're just going to come in a little bit more physically prepared. Yeah. And shout out to Neil, just give him a little plug here. Neil took that fight on rather short notice. Mm-hmm. His advantage is he had been in the ring before, so he knew what it was like. But he did take that a little bit on short notice, and that's just goes to speak for EFN and the production that they put on, and how awesome it is that they're prepared. Like, they're so prepared. Things happen during training. People are working really hard. This is legit boxing, everybody. This isn't table tennis or, video games. This is real boxing. So things happen during training. And like Andy said himself, he got hurt a little bit when he was doing training, but he still went into that ring. So this year, this is going to be exciting. This is the 7th time that this has happened, the 7th generation of Executive Fight Night. Oh man, I'm stoked for it. I'm not even doing anything but being a spectator in it, and I'm really pumped for it. So I want everybody to get on to EFN.com right now. I want you to make sure that you are buying your general admission tickets because tables are done. Right? You knew that a while ago, right?
I bought the last one. I bought table number 7 out there. It was the last table. I was shocked at how quick tables went this year. So I'm super excited to be there this time and fighting. So, yeah.
So piece of business advice for all of you that are listening. EFN number 8. Invest in buying all of the tables, and then you can scalp them to people and sell seats individually because they're going to want that. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That was bad advice. But so Andy, tell me about something going on in your life right now that you're proud of, that you are really exceptionally happy about.
Sure.
Just go from the heart, man. What's going on?
I have a wonderful partner. We've been together about 3 years. We have 9 kids between the two of us. And from the heart, like, that is what I love. I love having a large family. I love doing all the things. We have kids ranging in age from 27 to 10, kids all over the country, all throughout Utah. And, it's a blessing. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's joyful for me to watch my kids grow, to be there, to support them. And I just get to, and I get to be a bonus dad to kids that, that aren't mine. And that's an amazing opportunity. And I love it. And so that's something I'm doing. I'm loving. You would appreciate this. I'm starting to golf. So got my own set of clubs for Christmas this year and some Callaways, and have really started to pick those up and spend some time doing that. And that's been an opportunity. Again, it was more to spend time with kids and to with family to be able to share those experiences. And so that's something I'm doing. Excited for the snow to go away for Jesus
eventually.
Christ, man. It's like it's been bad. So
we've needed it.
Yeah,
we need it. I mean, we need it to not melt so fast so that we have a bunch of floods and everything like that. Yeah. But it's been kind of a nice change because the last few summers or winters have been more of like a mild spring, but this has been kind of crazy to walk out in Lehigh and have 4 feet of snow in your front yard and, stuff like that. And then, yesterday it was 55 degrees outside and now it's, 5 feet of snow. So yeah, I think all of us golfers, welcome to the golfing world,
Thank
Andy,
you.
that we're going to have to definitely go now that
Absolutely.
I know this. Yeah, I think we're all ready for the snow to be gone and for spring to hit. And it looks that way next week. Start to see 65, 70 degree days. And so I'm pretty pumped about that. But yeah, that's pretty rad. How is it 9 children? How is that?
It's a lot of coordinating. It's a lot of scheduling, even with kids that don't live at home. Shannon and I only have one at home. And then my youngest, my 10-year-old lives with her mother, but we still do things with kids. We try to make sure we're spending time with all of them individually. We check in with them every day. We're going up to Ogden or we're flying out to Nashville so it's just a lot of coordinating and scheduling. And, but Shannon and I both, that's what we want to do. We want to spend time with our family. And I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day is, your relationship with your kids and your family. And so, I've got grandbabies too. I've got 2 grandbabies. My daughter's got 2 young girls, 18 months and 2 months.
Very young, you guys. He's young. Give a shout out. How old are you?
42.
42. He's younger than me. Okay? And he's got grandchildren and grown kids and 9. Now, how do you balance all of that with your full-time job and now adding on EFN and golf. I mean, golf has to be a priority now that you have your own set of clubs. It's, how does that balance?
Well, golf hasn't been a priority. I mean, I've hit the simulators a few times, and for those who think Top Golf is golf, I knew that was going to be the answer. I get out there, but there's balance, right? Like this is the priority for me for the next 2 months, right? It has been EFN, and we'll find time this summer to do more things, but there is so much time in the day. But our priority is our family right now, and EFN, and work's kind of been a third. Hopefully, no one from work's listening to this. Has been a kind of a tertiary, priority for me right now. But they've been supportive of it too, so they know what's going on, and I get to class at 6 and I'm done, at 8, and then I'm home talking to kids on my way home or just checking in with them on a daily basis. And I've got a great, Shannon's great. She's very supportive and make sure that I'm getting the support that I need to go. And that's been great. So it's a lot of balance, a lot of coordinating, and sometimes you got to put some other stuff on the back burner and communicate with those people saying, hey, like I'm doing this right now, but I'll get back to you when I'm done, and knowing that you can't be everywhere and everything to everybody.
That's great. That's awesome. That you heard it right there, guys. That's how you balance it all right there. That's great. I want you to think right now, if Scott, your opponent, Mr. Hillman, was sitting right next to you and you had the opportunity to look at him dead in the eyes, what are you going to tell him come May 13th? What's going to happen?
I hope you're ready.
I like that. Yeah. All right. I like that. All right, Scott, I hope you're ready. Enough said, right?
Yeah.
Enough said. So, hey, guys, Andy Hayford right here, May 13th, EFN, 7th generation, him versus Scott Hillman. Okay, last question. Have you chosen a walkout song?
I have.
What is it?
It's actually a mashup. It's actually a YouTube mashup of Metro Boomin' Superhero over the top of Walter White's speech about I am the one who knocks.
Okay, so like some big old pump up inspirational type. Okay,
there's a little conversation with him having. If you're familiar with Breaking Bad, he's having that conversation with his wife Skyler about, I'm not in danger, Skyler. I am the danger. Ooh. A guy opens his door, gets shot. You think that of me? No, I am the one who knocks.
Listen to it, guys. Listen to the words that are coming out as he's walking out. So again, May 13th, guys, and remember to subscribe, listen, put your notifications on so